course they're going to call him a pedophile. So if there was any news about that, and there was, the Times Union up in Albany was always saying, he did this, he did that. I was like, well, of course they're going to say that, because he's teaching ethics and he's pushing back on all the unethical things that are happening in the world. Of course they're going to do a smear campaign against him. So we just thought that was funny.
He's getting out in front of it.
He totally got out in front of it.
Safe to say, though, at the time, outside of little details in like that '03 Forbes article that you had Googled, it's not like the guy had a Wikipedia page with all of his escapades and life story and whatever. You didn't have all that. But now that we do know.
What do we do know about him?
Yes.
Yeah. So So what we know now, and I'm going to butcher this because this is what I've been told. I didn't know him in this time, but what I've been told from other people who've been, that were close to him during this time, is that he was not very smart. He was on probation or whatever at RPI, and with 2.6 or something, like a low GPA, and was using his. Okay, let me back up for a second. He had a low GPA, but was like high on the charts of like certain IQ testing, and had been since he was little. And that went to it. This is what we were told by somebody who knew him his whole life, that he got some testing when he was little, and that went to his head, that he was like better than everybody else, and had been kind of manipulating people around him, especially women, since he was like 12.
He was another Brooklyn guy too, right?
Was it Brooklyn? I think it was Albany. I think he grew up in Albany.
Can we Google that?
Yeah.
Where he was born and grew up? Could have sworn. I mean, maybe you would know better than me, but born in Brooklyn, but was he raised in Albany? That's important. What have we got?
He moved to Suffern when he was 5.
Okay, so he's raised in upstate New York. Gotcha.
Saffron's in upstate?
Oh, I assume so.
It's like right over the border.
Okay.
I'd never even heard of that. Yeah.
Got it.
And we'd heard that his father, so we knew someone who knew his father, who said that at the age of 12, he was like telling multiple women that like they were the one, and they were like he was manipulating multiple women at the same time from a very young age. And this continued into his 20s, and he had multiple businesses. One of them was called CBI, Consumers Byline International.
Didn't he start at like Amway or something?
Yeah, he did some Amway trading. That's where he started.
Oh.
And CBI was definitely, he was an MLM as well. And this is before Costco and Sam's Club were really big. And that took off. And apparently, like when I was in it and we were told what happened, is that this CBI was such a threat to things like Costco and Sam's Club that.
Hey guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It's a huge, huge help. Thank you.
They went after him to shut it down because, he's a
so
threat.
So it was a similar business? It was like wholesale food and stuff?
Wholesale vitamins, products, different things, but in a pyramid scheme. Like a pyramid, and
that's important.
Yeah. And he I'm going to butcher the details of this, but he paid a bunch of fees, and he was told he could never start a pyramid, an MLM ever again, which he didn't. That's why he's not on any of the paperwork of all the ESP. That's why he's the philosophical founder. He's not the president. Nancy's the president. So basically he did it again.
Interessante.
With NXIVM, but had Nancy be the president.
Now, let's start with this. What do we know about, prior to NXIVM, his personal, actual partner relationships?
From what we know, he was, I guess the term would be polyamorous. Like he had multiple partners, and some of the women knew about the other women, and they like lived together, and other women didn't. And he would like bring people in and not tell them, or like I guess he was trying like see what works. Do we tell them in advance and see what sticks, or not tell them and then connect create the trauma bond, and then introduce the other women. So yeah, he cycled through quite a few. And by the time I joined, some of there was like OG women that he'd known since he was like 19.
Wow.
Were still with him. And I thought they were like his executive board and his assistants and things like that, but they were his spiritual wives. And for those of people who are listening who can't, this is so much information, is that ESP was pitched as a personal development training program. It's like in the Tony Robbins world, right? And there was a lot of stuff like that at the time, and there still is. There's PSI, there's EST, Earhart Seminar Training, which turned into the Landmark Forum, and LifeSpring, and I mean all these things I think are super problematic because they're called large group awareness training, as you were familiar with that term, LGAT.
I don't think so, no.
So anytime you're doing therapy in a large group, so large group awareness training is what they call it, it's just really problematic because you're doing transformational, deep inner work in a group, which like most times, like I'm not a trained therapist. You know what I mean? Like I was digging into people's psyche with tools that were given to me. I mean, I was good at it. And I think that's about not to pump my own tires, but I think I was good because my parents were therapists and I was able to help people like navigate troubling waters. But if you go to something like Tony Robbins and you're with thousands of people in an arena and you're having a emotional breakthrough, no one's there to help you unless you're one-on-one with Tony Robbins on stage, you know? So it can be very dangerous.
For sure. Mm-hmm. So he also, though, in addition to living polyamorously and all that, we now know he also from a younger man's age, I should say, like, you know, even dating back to his early 20s, but throughout his adulthood, he was also a pedophile. And he was essentially sometimes I think there was one, I don't know if you knew any of these girls personally, but there was even one where he like sponsored some Mexican girls to like come to America and then made them his sex slaves or something like that. And they were all underage. When he did it, eventually they came of age after they'd already been abused. But like, meaning there were many patterns of this that just weren't known. Correct. When you were coming into NXIVM. Yeah.
Even when we were there was a whole curriculum that he taught us about like slander and like, God, it's complicated to explain, but he was like, what are they going to say? We got this training from day one. People are going to say we're in a cult. Why do they say it's a cult? Because that's cuts you off at the knees. They're not saying you are doing X bad thing. A cult just is sort of a smear. And if someone says you're in a cult, you say, what's bad about what I'm doing? And even people who said I was in a cult, like, okay, well, I know it's weird. I felt found. I thought it was weird too. What are we doing that's bad? I'm in a success program. I'm working through my limitations. I'm happier. Like, go fuck yourself, right? So I lost my train of thought. Help me find the thread.
He was saying from
cult.
day one you're in a cult and
so
how to respond
what's
to
the worst thing you could say to someone? He's a pedophile. Of course they're going to call him a pedophile. So if there was any news about that, and there was the Times Union up in Albany was always saying, you know, he did this, he did that. I was like, well, of course they're going to say that because he's teaching ethics and he's pushing back on all the unethical things that are happening in the world. Of course they're going to do a smear campaign against him. So we just thought that was funny.
He's getting out in front of it.
He totally got out in front of it. So, yeah.
So you never saw anything that looked suspicious?
Here's what I saw. My very first red flag was with one of my girlfriends that I had brought in. My friends that's a girl. Mm-hmm. Okay, so one of my friends I brought in.
You gotta say that.
Yeah, my
was she born a girl too? All right, that's
my son who's 6 was like, Mom, don't say girlfriend because you're not a lesbian. I'm like,
Your 6-year-old son saying that.
He's the cutest fucking kid. He's so funny. I'm like, yeah, sorry, Ace. Okay, he's like, okay, yeah, my girlfriend, my friend that's a girl, I brought in, and one of the red flags was that she wanted to move to Albany, and she had a very successful career as an actor, and I'm like, why are you moving to Albany? Like, I was in it to win it, but I wasn't moving to Albany.
You were out in Vancouver.
I was out in the world in Vancouver. I was like, at this point, we're like doing trainings down in LA. We're doing trainings at like A-list actors' homes. It was very glamorous.
You're doing trainings at A-list actors' homes? Mm-hmm. Any names there?
Oh, man.
You don't have to.
I don't want to say. It's out there. Yeah. I just feel like I don't want to drag anyone through it. But
these aren't people that then publicly joined?
The one person that has been public about it was Gerard Butler. And that was somebody who was like, okay at the time to say it. There's other people that have come out since but never wanted to be associated. Or maybe like took a 5-day. There was one very famous actress who did a 5-day at her home. Nancy went and trained it. I'm like, I should go because I'm an actor. I wasn't allowed to go. I was really mad. Very famous actress. Anyway, that was all, like, it was blowing up. Like, we thought this is happening. We're doing this. Meanwhile, my friend's moving to Albany, and I remember thinking, like, why, like, she and her career was way more successful than I was. She was the lead on a show. And I remember getting the hit that this is actually in my book, this moment where I'm like, are they like sleeping together? The way that she talked about him, like, oh, I have to be Keith. Yeah, she was like, I have to be available for Keith. Like, he might call me. And I'm like, for what? Like, oh, we're doing some projects. Like, she was a bit cagey about it. dismissed it for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
A, like you said, he's not 12 out of 10. B, as facilitators, as coaches, we weren't supposed to have relationships. Like if I'd brought you in as a recruit, I wasn't supposed to date you because that would have been wildly inappropriate. Right?
Yeah,
and same thing with him. Like,
of course,
he's the head of this, and it's personal, and we're in each other's. Like that would have been. And then, what was the other reason? Yeah, just like ew. Yeah. So I had the feeling, and then I dismissed it. Oh, and he's celibate.
Oh, right.
Right.
He doesn't fuck.
Fuck. Yeah.
Now, what did you? How often were you going out to Albany yourself? Like you weren't living there. But
no. At the beginning, a couple times a year. So for sure, I did my first 5 day in Vancouver, and then I finished my 11-day out in Albany a few months later, and I rolled right from there into V Week.
V Week.
Vanguard Week.
Oh.
Yeah. Red flag, 10-day celebration for Vanguard's birthday at a summer camp at a YMCA in upstate New York.
At a YMCA?
Mm-hmm. Silver Bay. It was beautiful. YMCA retreat center. Silver Bay, if you look it up, gorgeous. That's if you see that in the Vow, and there's like big drone shots of like lake.
Yeah, that's a YMCA.
Yeah, it's a YMCA.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
YMCA is a weird.
I know. There it is. Look at that.
Come on.
That's a
YMCA.
It's the Silver Bay.
That don't look like the Brooklyn YMCA, beef.
Don't.
Yeah, it's a little higher class. That's giving some Buckingham Palace bullshit.
I mean, keep in mind it was still pretty rustic. It looks pretty there.
Oh, yeah, look, it's got the YMCA logo. Do you see that? Did we miss that?
This one?
X out. No, X out. It was just there. X out of the thing. I'll see it. See it right there?
Oh, look, there it is. Yeah, the YMCA.
No shit.
No.
God, all I ever think about is like musty old men going into a locker room for a steamer.
My boys play basketball at the YMCA now, and
I'm
it's
sorry to hear that.
No, it's a whole thing.
I would think you'd have PTSD. Shit.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't look like that. But
yeah, no. You're like, yeah, this is classless enough around here for me. Jesus Christ.
But Silver Bay in August was beautiful, and we had great times there. And I went to Vanguard Week 12 years in a row.
Vanguard, a 10-day celebration for his birthday.
That's why I've never been to Burning Man because
yeah, I don't think that's for you.
No, it's 100% not for me.
Yeah,
I don't like dust. First of all,
yeah,
I like to dress up, but I don't like dust and dirt and wind. So no,
I don't know. I don't have what's it called? Any motivation or desire to go to Burning Man. It just sounds like,
dirty.
It sounds like what's that one where they fuck the owl out in the woods? Out in out in San Francisco. Nixon had the famous quote. Didn't Alex Jones catch it one year? Yeah, Bohemian Grove.
Oh, I don't even know that one.
Yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's when I hear, maybe it's the bees, but when I hear Burning Man, it kind of gives me a little bit of Bohemian Grove vibes. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'd want to go out there.
No, I think I missed my window for that.
Do you think it was deliberate that he wore longer hair and a beard? And I mean, what I'm getting at is
Jesus vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was deliberate. And then there was a time about 5 years in when they cleaned him up and they cut his hair. You can pull up some pictures. There's early Vanguard, and then there's late Vanguard.
Late Vanguard. Mm-hmm. He had eras.
He did. He started wearing little Lacoste shirts and nice jeans and cute sneakers. They cleaned him up. He had a whole.
Who's they?
I mean, I thought it was his assistants, but his spiritual wives.
Oh, yeah. From the actual, okay.
Yeah, see that's late Vanguard. See, early Vanguard is that's how with the long hair is what he looked like when I met him. Right. Schlubby.
And then over there on the left.
Yeah, that was his cleaned up professorial vibes.
Right.
Some nice crew necks, some V-necks. And
he was, that's the thing. He was still trying to give off a soft look. He wasn't trying to look like a hardo.
Oh, look at he's got his hand there.
What?
He's got his hand on the
this chin, was his he's listening to. I noticed when he'd be speaking with people, he would turn his head like that and look at you.
Yeah. Oh God, you're creeping me out a little bit. Right? Yeah. Actually, my husband, who was also an actor, for Nancy's birthday, Nancy used to have this festival of flowers. Just with Vanguard Week, and then there's a weekend for Nancy, Festival of Flowers.
Festival of Flowers.
Everyone would give her flowers. Her whole house would be full of flowers. Super fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And she, people would do skits for her. And one of the skits, they asked, because my husband Nippy was really good at doing impressions of everybody in NXIVM, which was like really funny. People like, do David. And he'd like walk around like, oh my God, that's so funny. He had an impression of Vanguard, and they got, I can get it for you if you want. It's fucking hilarious. Because we have it on Vimeo, and they got him to he like did an impression. This is when we were still in it. And it was so funny because he nailed all his mannerisms and his like his little glasses thing and his and the way that he taught, like basically presenting as a as this deep philosophical, caring, empathetic person. So he was like he was mirroring the mannerisms of somebody who was like a guru and caring, and he was acting, you know, and Nippy nailed it. And I obviously was the back, so I didn't see him, but apparently Keith looked remarkably uncomfortable because I think he
mask off.
Yeah, mask off.
How tall was Keith?
You might want to look that up. I want to say 5'7" or 8.
It's always
I know. Miscavige too.
They always are trying to take Matt Cox, my buddy, who's like 5'5" and was a prolific mortgage fraudster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's always like, never trust us. We're always trying to take over the world.
Napoleon complex.
I'm like, dude, 5'5".
Oh, there you go. Shorter than I thought.
Even shorter. And like,
I'm 5'4".
I'll tell you, one of the things that really freaked me out, and you just kind of mentioned it, is when he would do the arm cross. I can't even do it, but like the way he would do the arm cross thing, so like kind of grab and almost like his shoulders. It's hard to describe, but people will know it when they go look at the tape on the vow, and like almost grab it in like a philosophical way and lean his shoulders back and tilt his head. There's a lot of video of Jeffrey Epstein doing the same exact thing. Yes.
Really?
And it's such a, I can't do it, and I can't describe it correctly. I can do the head thing, but like that one's easy. But like the way they would just kind of like move their shoulders and move their arms or whatever, there's like there's almost like this soft underbelly thing to it, and you feel really weird watching it. Maybe it's just because I've seen so much tape of Epstein doing that over the years when you're looking through this case, but it was the same exact kind of thing, and I was like, oh.
So it was interesting is that he taught us about sociopathy. Suppressives, a full suppressive, not suppressive tendencies, but someone with that was a full suppressive was what I now know as a sociopath. And it was something
he taught a class on this.
Yeah, it was called The Fall. And it was if someone's taken the fall, they've learned, okay, I think I need to tell you this because this is in line with your podcast. Give me a second. I'm gonna go into NXIVM land for a minute. Okay. Oh, it's
method acting.
I just have to retain a bunch of information I haven't talked about in a while. Hold on a second. Backing up. So one of the principles in NXIVM was that we defined self-esteem as a range of options that somebody has in a given context. So you might have high self-esteem around money because you feel good about making money, but maybe you're bad with relationships. You have low self-esteem in that area. So somebody with high self-esteem in all areas of their life feels like if someone doesn't want to go out with them, they still feel fine because there's more fish in the sea, right? So there's lots of options. So options are based on ethics, and if you're a good person and you're ethical, you're going to play by the rules of the world, which is like no lying, stealing, cheating.
Right.
And those are your options. And you have a morality, and you know that if you do something bad, if this is like a line, lying, stealing, and cheating are bad things, you wouldn't do that because you're a moral, ethical, conscious person, right? So these are your options. Sociopaths realize that they can do a bad thing and they don't feel bad about it. So they have all these options that we don't have. I'm assuming you're not a sociopath.
No, I feel awful about leaving a piece of trash on the ground.
Same. So a sociopath has all of these options in positive and then negative in terms of like lying, stealing, and cheating. And therefore they have, when someone has options and they have high self-esteem, they're like a high self-esteem person. You want to be around them. They have, they present a certain way. And so when someone's taken the fall and they become a full suppressive, they operate in the world here, but we're not suspecting that they're over here on this side because we don't project that onto them. So when you meet somebody like Keith or whoever, any one of these people that you've talked about, we assume that they are who they say they are because we wouldn't lie. And they know that.
But he's teaching it like the wolf in the hen house.
Yes. Yeah. So you'd never suspect that he had taken the fall and that he was a full suppressive and he was a sociopath. And we even did whole classes about like how sociopaths have different ways of playing out. Like they can, slash your tires and feel good about it, or they can slowly poison your dog over time. And they prefer that because it's more enjoyable to watch you suffer. Like those are the kind of things that we learn about. And
That's like almost beyond sociopathy right there, right?
I mean,
it is, but
yeah, it's next level. And there's a whole other thing if you want to really deep dive is I believe there's women around him that died, like the original women that he had from his inner circle. They died of a very aggressive cancer when we were there. The 2 purple sashes, by the way. So I got to green sash. There was 1 blue and 2 purple sashes. That's the high up as it went. They both died of cancer when I was there. And I believe that they were poisoned and he poisoned them. This is my opinion, allegedly. Like, no one prove it.
Unfortunately would totally buy it.
Yeah.
When you look at his
track record,
whatever you want to call it, resume. Thank you guys for watching the episode. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button on the video. They're both a huge help. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram and X, those links are in my description below.